a little regroup. So there's two things. First thing, to expose a little bit more about why I set it up the way I set it up. And two, for you to make comments or any points of clarification. So why did I set it up the way I set it up? I think I kind of indicated this towards the beginning. For too long, as far as I've been in training programs, what I've seen is trainers demonstrating what they do with people. And trainers, if you haven't noticed, come in all different shapes and sizes, and they've all had different experiences. And of course, over their history of development as a trainer, they have found things that works for them with their size hands and their length limbs and their proportions and who they've worked with. So they arrive into this room, I'm one of they arrive into this room with that history. And then they try to share that history with you. One way of sharing that history is I show you what I do. But you're seeing what has evolved over a period of 30 years. You're not there. You're where you're at. So my rationale in creating a scenario like this and asking Gloria and Nina to demonstrate is they can demonstrate something that you can all do. Yes, and they did, and they did a beautiful job. So the way this is structured, I'm not interested in your technique. I'm interested in you having this structure that you've got some familiarity with because you've done it, and someone's talked a little bit about it, you've thought a little bit about it. So now, how can we take that as a structure and play with it so that first, you feel comfortable holding someone's head and following them. You've done that. And then finally, when you felt their trajectory and how they flow, whether it's over here or whether it's over there, you just take them and you go, okay, we'll go this way. You just pull them. You provide the power. You know them. You've got to know them enough to have some faith, brothers and sisters, some faith that in that pathway, they'll follow you. You're laughing away, yeah. Yeah. So that's why this is set up. And that's why when I walk around, I don't try to show you any techniques. If you ask me, how do you do it? I'm quite happy to show you how I do it. But please know, that's the way that Zoran Kovic does it at this moment, in this year, with this person. It'll be different maybe tomorrow. That's the way it is. And yet there's something similar. Right? So that's why this process is the way it is. So anything that you'd like clarified or want to make a comment about before we head off back? Yeah, Nina. The magic box flies out of my left shoulder.
Zoran, yes, we asked you about to show us, but the main idea was not really the techniques. For me, it was important the feeling of safety, the comfort. Yeah, just to see what could I expect.
Oh, I didn't ask you.
Yes,
I didn't think you were asking for a technique.
Yes, and after that, we will write on the track. Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't in comment to you.
Oh, no. I just share my experience, our experience.
The loveliest moment for me, apart from your relationship with each other, when I saw your heels rocking and I saw your pelvis rocking, and I went, that's it. That's harmonics. That's no, not harmonics. What's that word? Resonance. Yeah, that's resonance. There's resonance between you, like those bloody metronomes, yeah? You put the metronomes on the block, and they're all doing their funny things, right? You put them on 2 Coke cans, and suddenly it's like, whoop, 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 and the things fall into place. So just think Coke cans. No, that's too much into my mind. Don't go there. Don't go there. Yeah. Absolutely. Now, you see, that solution, if you really want to pull someone with minimal force, put them on a conveyor belt.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like my colleague in Perth did, and you might know, Ray Martin. Do you remember? Do you know Ray? Ray used to work with people in kids in pools in water. And she has this nice video out. There's one lady. You've watched that one? Yeah. There's one lady, she's in a pool, and I guarantee you, it's a kiddie's pool. You know those big round things that go blow it up? It's got this much water in it. And what this lady does in that pool that she can't do out of the pool is amazing. Just that little bit of water, that little bit of slide, that little bit of slosh, that little... how the hell does that work? You know, no neuroscientist can tell you. I can tell you that. They think they can, but they can't. They don't know. They don't. They have no idea. So anything else now that that's another myth gone?
Just getting back to resonance.
Yes, resonance.
Yeah, it's really beautiful to have that resonance and then feel the change from who's leading and who's following.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
That's a really special
moment. It is a
moment.
really special moment. Yeah, very much so. Yeah. And that possibility exists within that lesson, right? So there's your the ATM, there's your heels. They've started the ball rolling, so to speak, right? And then there's a moment that you have the waves of motion going on. And you see, if you pick up on that, you have to use your musculature a whole lot less because you've set into motion this hydraulic. Yeah, that's exactly what you're describing, and it's in the lesson.
We did metronomes, and I saw that the left-hand side, 2 or 3, they were still not 100%, I thought, going.
Mm-hmm.
And when they came back, and they just got out to their own rhythm. They were nearly, maybe 99%, but for me, I thought I saw something they are not 100%. Before they put that out. You think that's the way?
I think you should watch the video again.
Or
What you'll see, this is what's really interesting. I don't know how it works, but they have an accent to the right. You saw it? Yeah? Yeah? The can roll was a little bit more to the right than the left. I thought, how the hell is that happening? I don't know. Maybe they're slightly different cans. Yeah. Yeah. They weren't. They weren't accented.
Maybe it was in 2/4.
But oh.
2/4, and it's so 1, 2, 1,
It-
2, 1.
It could be. So this is we're talking chaos theory here, people. Yeah, we're talking the butterfly in South America creates a hurricane. You know, all it takes is for one of those cans to be of a slightly different height or a slightly different different shape, and it's going to throw the whole system out of whack.
Chelsea and I had an interesting conversation about like riding the tram or the train, and if we're not actually the train or the tram with the person, then but the person inside the tram, when the tram stops, you keep going.
That's right.
Yeah. So as the practitioner, to be able to know that whether or not you stopped with the tram or whether or not you're the passenger.
Yeah, that's it. Nice analogy.
All you've got to do is jump up. Right.
Yeah, and then you just stack up.
It will go forward and you just
Well, because Einstein was, if you jumped in,
right the point where
Hmm.
yeah.
And that's how those planes generate the zero thing. Well, actually, there you are in the plane. And of course, you're supported by the plane floor. But what happens if the plane accelerates down? In other words, it starts going faster than gravity. But you fall at the speed of gravity. You're still falling. But the environment is constant around you. You feel like you're floating. You're actually falling. It's just that the plane is falling slightly faster than you. And it feels like, I'm floating. That's called levitation. If you can create that in an awareness through movement lesson, you'll have clients right out your door. Really? Yeah? Like Julieta, when you got up off the floor, you said, I feel light. I had no expectation of that, but you felt light, right? When the two forces are completely neutralized via your skeleton, that's the feeling of levitation, because the musculature is not doing anything and your connective tissue is not being pulled by the musculature. So you just feel nothing. You feel nothing. You might feel light. You feel nothing. That's a really strange place when you actually feel like I remember getting up off a lesson. They asked me, well, what's your experience? I go, I actually feel nothing. I don't feel my neck. I don't feel my shoulders. I don't feel my back. I feel nothing. I mean, all the things that I recognize myself with, all those tensionings, bye-bye. For some individuals, that's not a good place to go to. Yeah. For others who've got some resilience and are not that are in a good psychological state, absolutely fine. Others, you don't want to take away their sense of self too much. It's a little bit discombobulating. Yeah. So everything okay with the process, the procedure, all good? It's now 10 to. Okay if you play till 1:45, and then we'll have lunch. Is that a deal?